Welcome to the Curlcast, a podcast dedicated to detangling the pros and woes of curly hair. We're your hosts, Angel
and Mira.
And today, we're going to be discussing all things curly hair in the workplace. Okay, so I've had a lot of experience with this. So I've been in the workforce for over a year now, mostly, actually, totally in the corporate world. And I have been in my current job for about 10 months and have worn my curly hair, like not even joking, 99% of the time. I can say that I've probably had straight hair in my current setting. I can count it on one hand. I'm sure there are people in the office who've never seen my hair straight before. So yeah, it's crazy to me that to this day, people still look at me so strangely when I walk into the office with curly hair. They still ask me such odd questions like, is your hair natural? And I'm thinking to myself, well, you've seen me with this hair for the past 10 months now. Like, what's the deal? Why do you think it's not natural? And it's insane to me that people still they're still so surprised by me whenever I walk into the office. What's your experience with that?
So I've been interning the last 2 summers and working part-time in corporate jobs, in software engineering. So I've definitely worn my hair curly for most of the time and only straightened my hair twice throughout both jobs. And I had mixed reviews from my coworkers. Some of my coworkers would see me and they'd be like, oh my God, you look great with straight hair. Yes, queen, changed it up a little bit. And then I'd have some co-workers that'd be like, nah, we prefer your curly hair. And one person that was very vocal about it, Alex, who listens to our podcast. Hi, Alex. She was
Shout
my
out to
manager.
Alex.
Yeah, she used to be very vocal and be like, I hate the straight hair. Yeah. Revert back to curly.
Yeah.
And yeah, so
big shout out to Alex.
Yeah, big shout out. She's one of my cheerleaders.
Yeah.
So I think I've had 50-50 mixed reviews about my hair.
I remember there was one experience I had at my old job, I won't say where basically I walked into the office, and so you kind of get to know everyone on your side of the floor. So when you walk out of the lift and you go to your side of the floor, you'll tend to know most people there. And there were probably about 10 to 15 people in that area. And I remember as I got to my desk and I sat at the end, almost in the corner by myself, and they noticed me come in with straight hair one day, and they all turned around and clapped. I have never been more mortified in my life. And it's not even, at the time, I didn't even realize why I was so embarrassed, but it's because it made me feel like I had somehow joined some, weird, elite woman club, that I hadn't been part of before with my curly hair. What were they seeing in me when I came in with curly hair that suddenly made them give me a standing ovation coming in with straight hair? I'm laughing now because it's so funny to me, but at the same time, it's also so devastating to me.
It's so ridiculous. I don't know how I would react.
I honestly, if it was this day and age, I would probably, in terms of me taking care of my hair now, because back then I was only just starting to really appreciate my curls. But if it was today, I don't know how I would have reacted. I obviously wouldn't have stormed out of work. I'm a grown woman. I can handle my emotions. But I probably would have been quite upset, for that week, I would say. Just, even coming in back to the office with curly hair, I'd feel so vulnerable again. And I'd basically revert back to how I used to feel about my hair before I'd started this curl journey. And that's something I never really want to experience again. I've grown so much as a person, in self-love and, taking care of myself, that I'd never want to go back to being someone who was ashamed of who I am. And I just felt like that could have been really damaging had I really thought about it. Luckily, I didn't think about it much till later, and I'm okay with it now. But man, that was rough.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a similar experience of feeling ashamed about your hair?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Like, I didn't have it in my internships. Like, thankfully, in both corporate settings, like, one was more firm and old school than the other, but both I felt very comfortable with my natural hair.
Okay.
But this experience was actually when I was trying to get a casual job at Macca's or McDonald's.
Oh my gosh,
right
how long
after-
ago was that?
Yeah, that was 4 years ago exactly. Like, it was right after I finished school, first year university.
Wow.
The manager of like 4 branches, he was like interviewing me as the final interview, and he goes, so he just looks at me. He was asking me, he was already a tough guy, and he was asking me all these questions, but I was answering him. And then he just looks at me, and then he points at me in like this condescending way, and he goes, what are you gonna do about those hairs? I had my hair in a bun. Like, I didn't have it out. I didn't have it like in a ponytail. I had my hair in a bun. Like, I had it contained. It was just natural, like curly. And he goes to me, what are you going to do about those hairs around your head?
Oh my gosh, he actually said that to you?
Yeah, he actually said that to me. And so I was like, first of all, I was like taken aback, but then I just answered him. I was like anyone would, I would put my hair in a bun like this and put a hairnet like everyone else. And I didn't think much of it until I went home and told my parents, and they were like, you should have said something. You should have said that's like rude or like racist, and you shouldn't say that.
That is so that
that
has such
has
racist undertones.
Yeah,
to it.
that shouldn't be a question in the interview. Like, everyone has to cover their hair at McDonald's. Like,
like having curly hair shouldn't deter someone from hiring you like that. That is literally discrimination.
I'm pretty sure that's why I didn't get hired, because my schedule was so flexible. Like, like
I remember you coming and saying all the answers and saying all the questions they asked you, and you were the perfect candidate, really. And then when you didn't get the job, I was like, you didn't get a job at Macca's. Like, what's wrong with you? But like now.
Now looking back, like,
it was a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, blessing in disguise, but I regret not standing up to him.
Oh, of course, yeah, but I mean, I think being a young woman who's still like learning, we just finished school, we're still like, trying to get a job in the workforce, and we're still trying to figure out, where we stand. If someone comes in and starts making comments about your hair, like, we're still quite impressionable. I think if I was that age and someone had said to me, you need to straighten your hair every day for this job, I definitely would have done it. Like, there was nothing stopping me from thinking that was okay, because we kind of grew up in a culture as well where straightening your hair wasn't that abnormal. People straightening their hair every day, like, a lot of people did it.
Very, very normal.
Yeah, like, it's very common, and no judgment to people who do it. But I wouldn't have seen it as something that was discriminatory or like something that was made to limit or minimize my culture. But now, if someone had told me to do that, I would definitely be taken aback, and I feel like racially like discriminated against, because that is so wrong.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm so shocked. Like, you're probably listening to my voice in the podcast and it's going like up and down because I'm just my
we're seeing
mind
the audio
is
track
blown.
here on the screen, and it's like up and down.
I'm just in such shock.
Yeah, like I remember, like, I definitely felt like I felt bad leaving that interview, but what are you gonna do?
Life goes on.
I got a job in the end.
Yeah, a better one.
And so what? But we were just like researching. About how like curly hair is seen in the workplace, and like reading articles on Business Insider and whatnot, Huffington Post. And,
so I read a really good article by Inkechi. I think that's how you say it.
I'm so sorry. It's a beautiful name, but we probably butchered it.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
But her Instagram is @corporate_curly. And she's great. She basically tries to provide inspiration for women of color, and just women with curly hair, to wear their hair naturally, give them different options for styles in the corporate lifestyle, along with outfit inspiration as well. She's beautiful and she has such amazing clothes. But she really tries to promote wearing your hair naturally in a professional setting, because oftentimes curly hair is not seen as something that is professional. It's not seen as something that you can wear sensibly and present yourself in front of, your employers and the CEOs and executives, and then also clients as well. it's kind of looked at as something that you should kind of keep to yourself. And curly hair, as you might know, is not something you can keep to yourself.
Like you were born with it. Like you can't just like grow this hair out of your head and just be like, so like,
yeah, let me just
I need to separate my identity from it. It's just...
Yeah, I mean, especially nowadays, we identify so strongly with our hair. Like, it is a really big part of us. A lot of our conversations,
especially now, we have a podcast
exactly
about it.
and yeah, just the whole idea that having this hair somehow makes us less than our fellow colleagues is crazy. And I'm not saying that my workplace discriminates against me for having curly hair. They definitely don't, in the way that you might think they do. But there are definitely times where I feel isolated or made to feel a bit odd or different because of my hair, and that's something that I really, really struggle with. Anyway, we'll kind of get into that a bit later.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about some like common questions that we've experienced in the workplace. I'm just going to come out and say, like, if I've received these questions from a coworker or like someone from university that doesn't know me quite well, I give them benefit of the doubt. I'm not quick to be like, you know, you are discriminating against me or that's an insensitive question. But I'm more so butthurt about people that I've known my whole life or through my community that make these really insensitive comments about something that I'm really proud to rock. So that's just, I need to put it out
disclaimer,
there. Yeah.
Like, there's definitely a time and a place where these kinds of questions can be well received, but especially when it comes to the workplace or it comes to a place where it is definitely inappropriate to ask such questions that we're about to tell you, that we can potentially be negatively impacted by these questions. And it might not be outward, you might not notice, but inwardly we are being affected. We are being affected. And I know a lot of other women can and are affected by these as well. And we just want to kind of help you navigate these questions and these scenarios in a more educational manner without feeling like you're being attacked, without feeling like you have to retaliate negatively. We want to kind of give you options of how you can answer these questions and open the conversation with your colleagues.
And if you're someone that doesn't have curly hair that's listening to us, just like be mindful, like just take this as like a way to educate yourself on how to approach someone with curly hair and just to be sensitive about it, really. Be mindful of what you say. So the first question, do you want to kick us off?
All right, let's do it. Is that your natural hair?
Yeah.
Yes. That is the honest to God answer is yes. While we don't wake up in the morning and have glorious curls, a lot of effort does go into making it look like this. However, we don't do anything to make this unnatural. Like, there's no heat, there's no chemicals, there's no processes other than the wash day process. But this is our natural hair, and it's crazy to me that people don't see that. I mean, I work with predominantly Chinese people, and like, they're great. They have amazing hair. And I'm sure that, you know, growing up in a culture where everyone has luscious, black, thick, straight hair, it's kind of interesting to see someone without that hair type, and like, that's fine. I'm okay to answer questions, and it's okay. And people might think like, why is the question, is that your natural hair, insulting? And the truth is, it's not insulting in the sense where like I feel personally offended by people asking me, is that your natural hair? Like, I'm happy to answer that question quite lightheartedly. But it's the fact that people are pleading ignorant to such a common feature in people. Like, people having curly, wavy, afro hair is not uncommon. Why is it so amazing to you that someone has come to the office with curly hair? Yeah, like, I'm sure you've seen at least a little bit of pop culture. I know we were talking about it before, diversity and representation in media isn't as much as it should be for people of color.
But there is a little bit.
Yeah, if you've seen one episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, you know that curly hair is natural.
Yeah.
And yeah, sorry, that's a long rant about that one question, but it is something that I think people just need to educate themselves on. Yes, curly hair is natural. That's that.
Yeah. The third question is, can I touch your hair? I wrote this in the script. Hell nah.
I'm just gonna let Mira take this question.
Like,
on. She's got this.
I don't even let my mum touch my hair, or like when she does, I get annoyed. Let alone a stranger in the street. I don't like it. It feels invasive and not like just not on. Okay, and I was listening to a TED talk by a beautiful activist called Mina Fombo. I hope I got that right. And she was talking about don't touch my hair, and she was saying that the women, she did like a survey, the women that responded saying they were feeling invaded and whatnot, and even felt like being patted like an animal. And it took me back, when I heard that, it took me back to my school years.
That's just
when
terrible.
someone would come and touch my hair, even if they've seen curly hair before, they would come and touch my hair and think it's a game. And it did make me feel that degraded a little bit. Like I am a pet a little bit. So it's a very real feeling. And it's very much just like how your parents tell you don't touch someone when you were growing up. Like don't touch someone without their permission. Don't hug them without your permission. Similar with hair. Hair is connected to the body. It is still a part of you.
Yeah, so like I was telling Mira before that I don't know if you knew it, but cutting someone's hair is actually a form of mutilation. Like if someone's sitting on the bus, say, and you get annoyed that their hair is in your space and you cut it, you will either get a massive fine or go to jail depending on your record. Yeah. But it is a big deal. It's mutilation to cut someone's hair. So touching someone's hair can be seen as a form of harassment. If like I'm sure it won't be taken as seriously by law enforcement, but it is definitely something that can be seen as racially charged and a bit of a microaggression as well.
So that's what Fombo was mentioning in her talk. She's saying, I don't call it hair touching, I call it hair attacking, because it's a form of microaggression stemming from racism. What's the motivation behind you wanting to touch someone's hair? Even if it's curiosity, like why are you curious about it? We said that, curly hair has always existed. Why is it in your right to touch it because you have curiosity? But say, like, if we were to go touch someone's hair in public that had straight hair, we would probably get like the cops called on us or something. Of
course. So, imagine touching someone's hair who's silky straight and you just run your hand down their hair.
She did that as a social experiment, and a lot of people felt uncomfortable, and she had to like go after them and be like, this is part of a social experiment about why you shouldn't touch people's hair. And
that's insane.
And so it's a form of microaggression. So
just be careful.
Mindful. Ask. At least ask.
Yeah.
Ask. And
we're happy to let people who ask like touch our hair. We get it. It's fun. Like it is fun.
It is fun. But like just ask, and if we say no, respect it.
Yeah. It's just one of those things where, especially as a woman, you can kind of get uncomfortable with unwarranted attention, whether it's from males or females. You just kind of don't want it. You don't want to feel singled out as well by someone. You don't want someone drawing attention to you like that. It feels a little bit objectifying. We don't want to get too political about this, but at the same time, guys, just be mindful about how you approach people in general, like regardless of curly hair or not. Just, watch your boundaries, 1.5 meter distance apart, coronavirus.
Yeah.
Just act like that every day with his hair.
Just be mindful. It's still a part of someone's body. Like, it's not on.
So, we've come to the end. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in, watching if you're on YouTube. We really appreciate all your support, and there's so many people that are just showering us with love. And
we love it so much. Yeah, we love you all so much.
Yeah, this is honestly one of the best things I think we ever did for ourselves. We love surreal. This. It's honestly so surreal. Please keep showing your support. Send us DMs, message us. We're on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud.
Like everywhere. And please, on this topic, please send us DMs, send us your experiences. We'd love to share them. So please, we want to interact with you guys.
Let us know. Really curious to know your workplace curlies experience.
Yeah.
But until then, we'll see you in a
fortnight. Bye.
Ba-dum-ba-dum.